Hi, I'm making a brief video out here in some nature. Just dropped the kids off at school and I gotta go off to a job in about an hour. So figured I'd get a little walking in, talk a little bit about this weekend, because it turns out that I was indulging in food, and as is often the case with indulging, I indulged a little too much. I stayed with the vegan program mostly. That means that there were a few exceptions that kind of came in the food. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. So Friday night, I'd been working in my office with my wife all day, with Michelle, and after we picked up our eldest son from school, it turns out that, we were feeling pretty fried out. The kids wanted to stay home. We didn't have anything worked up for them in the house, so we thought, what do we do? Do we go out to dinner or what? And we decided we would order in. Decided to get Chinese food. I suppose Chinese food, after the fact, the more I think about it, is not exactly all vegan. But Chinese food has vegetarian options. And certainly Chinese food is known for vegetarian options, similar to Indian food, let's say. However, probably unlike some Indian food, I might be saying things I'm not certain about here, okay? But we ordered some options, and I got a rice noodle and vegetable dish. I got a vegetable soup, and also, like, what was it? It was like it was almost like a spicy tofu dish. So I ordered these things, ate them, and as I was working my way through the rice noodle, I noticed little flakes of egg. Believe me, at this point though, at that moment, I wasn't going to stop. So I was hungry. We had purchased the food because we were kind of behind the 8 ball in terms of preparing food that day. And so I just went for it. But I will say that I was conscious of it being a violation, sort of eating vegan. But I have said all along, I thought to myself, oh, I haven't made the choice to do this for ethical reasons, though I am becoming more appreciated. I'm appreciating more the ethical aspect of eating vegan. So anyway, I didn't think it mattered that much at the time. Sort of shucked it off as not that big a deal. And boy, the next day, right here, I could really feel it. I mean, just feeling kind of like heavy down there, and also a bit of fogginess up here in the head. Like not necessarily in the sinuses, but like sort of up in my head up here. Something I'd become accustomed to not having for a period of weeks. That feels so good not to have that cloudiness anymore, but to have it feel light and sort of lifting upward. I'll talk about that another time, but I have had an effect of eating so clean at times that I get this sort of like, I feel my energy sort of floating outside my head right here, drawn forward, very bright, versus this sort of cloud moving around like a cloud inside my head, Anyway, that was Friday night. Saturday night comes, and it's a similar thing, because working in the office for most of the day. It was a beautiful day. But then Saturday night, turns out, we decided to go take this awesome bike ride with the kids. And we biked to our favorite pizzeria. Now, I've gone there once or twice so far since deciding to do this vegan thing, and have had huge Greek salads without the feta. Maybe some extra dolmas, you know, rice and grape leaves. And that's what I had this time. But I also shared a eggplant parm without the cheese. Man, okay, so you know what happened to me here is that after the fact, a lot of butter. I think there was a lot of butter in the batter, in the breading of the eggplant. And boy, by the next day, Sunday, it was rough. I only got down one juice, and again, the tightness in my stomach. You can see it's still there, huh? I mean, there it is. See? And it's not going anywhere, that stomach. I've got a ways to work it off. But I'm just feeling it more. You know, it's feeling like me again. Feeling like part of my blood. You know, this is the thing. It's frustrating me. The idea that feeling is a normal state. And it is. I'm aware that feeling is something that I've come to think of as normal almost. Well, anyway, between the Chinese food and the fried eggplant, which was absolutely delicious, of course, I think I overdid it for sure, because I had gas all day yesterday. Just nasty. Had gas all day, and yesterday and today, feeling constipated. And when I say constipated, you know, I really think everybody has a different idea of what that means. So for me, what it means is it's a tightness in my lower, sort of down here, you know? It's down low, down in there, and it's a tightness that I feel. And what's interesting is the more I pay attention to it, the more I realize that tightness in my abdomen, in my bowels, connects to a feeling up here in my head. There's a feeling that comes in my head that's connected up here. I'm sure there's people who understand this stuff really well, but just in terms of my reflection, those things go together. And they really are a terrible little combo. You know, the fogginess in the head with almost like a little bit of a sickly feeling too, almost like up in here, that I associate with it being kind of a toxic feeling. Wow, I'm just scoping some really awesome rocks here in the woods. Look at these beautiful rocks here, standing out in the middle of the woods. Just they're like white. Just these white rocks floating out here. It's really beautiful out here in the park. So, I guess the message is I fell off the wagon a bit. Not completely. Sort of hanging off, and I want to get back on. Tomorrow's the farmer's market, so I'm going to juice up with the farmer's market. But even tonight, I'm going to try to get back on the game a little bit. Now, meanwhile, I want to say that I ate salads. I ate a bunch of huge salads. I mixed salads in at least with the Italian food. I didn't mix it in with the Chinese food. And the Chinese food gave me tremendous gas. And it's making me feel a little down today. I'm becoming more sensitive to the idea that I feel positive most of the time. That I feel generally good with the juicing and with the healthy food, and I get electric and I get excited, and I want to be in that state. I want to draw myself into that state and be more like, hey, positive, clicky, you know, instead of this sort of kind of energy. And today I'm fighting that. I'm actually fighting that. And I suspect it'll take me 2 to 3 days of fighting that giving an effort to it and fighting it for me to really free myself from this sensation and get back to feeling healthy, you know, really sort of bright and feel that I'm expelling rather than retaining the gunk. Because I really, for me, that's a big deal, you know? It's not that I have loose bowels, I just have a more fluid bowel movements so that I'm constantly feeling like I'm getting rid of stuff. And I can tell because when I'm feeling pretty good and I'm having certain bowel movements that are offensive, have an offensive odor, but I've been eating nothing but raw fruits and vegetables. Well, you know that those offensive odors come from ancient gunk that's retained in your system. That offensive odor is not being produced by the food you're eating at that time. That food is pulling out stuff that's been in there for a long time. So anyway, I'm going to shift gears. I'm going to try to get back on the game, like meaning back on my game sharp and proper, because I haven't completely bailed. I haven't completely screwed up, but I'm definitely feeling vulnerable about it, and I feel like I, you know, owe it to myself to not slip here. So we're going to juice up, going to have some vegetables, going to have some salads, and I'll report back in a couple of days and see how our progress is going, because I want to feel it slip away. Right now, the heavy tension in the tummy, it's all down there. It don't feel good, you know? But it feels good to be out here in the woods. See ya. Bye.